Today I went to a Spotify Masterclass, so I'm going to give you a few tips that I picked up at that Masterclass. So today I went over to Hull in the UK and I went to a Spotify Masterclass. It was a bit of a music industry conference thing that was going on, but the main thing that I went for was a Spotify Masterclass. It lasted about an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and a half. It was the guy who was in charge of team management and artist relations, I think, something like that, that ran the session itself, and the majority of the session was kind of talking about kind of basic stuff to do with Spotify, like creating playlists and kind of how to keep on top of your Spotify fans via social media. I might do a video on that another time, but today I want to kind of pick up on two things that I kind of learned at the session, one of which is how to get onto Spotify playlists. Woo! You hear noise in the background? It's because Alice has turned up.
Hi.
The first thing is literally there is a thing that exists called artist.spotify.com, and the idea is that you just go to that site and you can apply to get control of your Spotify page. Really simple to do. You just give them your username, give them your band name, and they will link the two things, so then you can get some like behind the scenes stuff that's kind of interesting, like analytics and that kind of stuff that you wouldn't normally be able to get. You can also change like your profile picture and cover photo rather than just having your newest release, and you can also create playlists based on the artist itself. But that's not the main thing that I want to talk about. The main thing that I want to talk about is how to get on Spotify playlists, because it's been something that we've been wanting to know for a very long time. Spotify on their own website is a bit like iffy about it, because Discover Playlist, Release Radar, and New Music Friday are pretty much exclusively done by algorithms. There's no way of influencing it. There isn't any way of getting onto those other than just playing the algorithm and hoping that you get onto them. The only real playlist that you can get onto is the curated ones, the ones that are like Rock Friday or, I don't know, chuffing the indie list or Grime Shutdown or whatever. Those kinds of playlists, they're the ones that you can influence, but there is nothing on Spotify's website that says that you can influence it. So the way that you would get onto Spotify, you can't just go on Spotify and click upload. You have to go through a distributor. Some distributors, and I listed a few of them, some distributors will have direct contact with Spotify. I believe most of them do, especially the big ones like TuneCore, Believe, I don't think CD Baby was on there, but I think CD Baby does distribute to Spotify. Either way, whatever distributor you would go through, there is a way of either putting extra information in with your release. For example, there's sometimes like a marketing box that's on the uploader for when you're distributing. In theory, into that box, you could put information about your release. That information will then be pushed onto Spotify, and that could help influence what playlist you might get included in. You can also just directly contact your distributor and ask them to pitch this song that you're going to be releasing for these reasons, and here's what I kind of want you to pitch to Spotify. Some distributors will allow you to just do that, just go straight to a member of the team at the distributor and try and get them to personally pitch the thing to Spotify. Let's say that you're going through a distributor and you've got that box, and what do you want to put in it? So the guy from Spotify was talking about, tell us about you, tell us about the song, tell us who you collaborated with, who produced it. Have you got anything good going on at the moment? Have you got anything noteworthy that they should know about? Have you got, I don't know, a tour coming up in Mexico, or, you know, something like that, because all that helps when they're choosing what to put where, because if you're going to be touring Mexico, then putting you in a Mexico-based playlist will benefit both you and them. So it makes sense. They don't know that without being told that. So they physically asked, please tell us stuff about what you're doing and what you're up to, because we actually want to use that to help our playlists. The other main thing that they said to include in that box or the email that you may send to your distributor is literally list out all the playlists that you want to be in, because that's easier for them. They don't have to listen to your song and then be like, oh, maybe it'll fit in this, maybe it'll fit in that. Oh, we could try them in that. If you're saying, I want to be in any one of these 8 playlists, provided that they think that you fit into one of those 8, that you've just made their job a hell of a lot easier. And that's actually coming from a guy who works at Spotify, so it's not just me just bullshitting and being like, oh, you should try this. That's what they want. It's not the easiest thing in the world. You can't just tweet at someone being like, oh, you should put me in this playlist. But there is a way of influencing what playlist you get put into just by going through your distributor and hoping that they have a direct contact with Spotify, which the big distributors do. So that's what I learned today. I may do another video at some point on kind of the background bits of Spotify and kind of all the extra stuff that you can find out through artist.spotify.com. I'll do that at some point, maybe. If you want to see more videos from this series, click on one side of the screen. If you want to see our best of playlist, click on the other side of the screen. Sorry if Alice was super loud during that entire video. I'll see you on Wednesday.